What makes you think she'll be willing to go back to America?
Well, of course she will, once I've explained the danger.
If you stay here and try to close in on these people, then you'll be in danger too. Especially if they were to find out who you are. Will Liza be willing to leave you to face that danger alone? I certainly wouldn't be.
You and Liza are different people, Allison. You said so yourself. You like living on the edge. She likes staying at home. That's the way she wants it, and that's the way I want it. I'll see you later, Allison.
What do you know? Liza and I are different. Well, vive la différence.
Oh, Janet.
Is that woman gone?
This is Search for Tomorrow. This portion brought to you by Comet, the cleanser that disinfects as it cleans. Available in 4 sizes for kitchen and bathroom use.
If by that woman you mean Stephanie, yes, she's gone.
Good. You know, there was never any love lost between me and Stephanie. But since she accused me of being responsible for John's death, I can't be in the same room with her.
Janet, she's gone. Anyhow, Stephanie's had a hard time.
Yes, that's true. But I find it a little bit difficult to feel sorry for her since she's always given everybody else a hard time. And you wait, as soon as she is recovered, she will start over again.
Start over again?
You heard her. She has no intention of dropping this custody thing with Susie. And the sad part about that is she doesn't even care about Susie. She never cared about anybody but herself in her whole life. To Stephanie, people are not people.
Oh, now, come on. Now, what is that supposed to mean?
Well, I'm surprised you haven't figured it out. Everyone is just a tool to Stephanie. She uses some people for one thing and others for something else.
Well, she has never used me.
Oh, she certainly has. Now, she helped you take over Collins Corporation, not because of any feeling that she had for you, but because it suited her. And when John walked out on her, she needed someone. You just happened to be there.
Janet, could we not discuss this anymore? Because that all happened a very long time ago.
Ted, it is important that you realize she's going to try to use you again. Now, I know she is whenever she wants and in whatever way she wants.
Don't you understand that people use each other? Stephanie got what she wanted, I got what I wanted.
Yes, I do understand that. But I don't like to think about it. I don't like to believe that you're that kind of a person.
Hey, come on, don't try to clean me up after the fact.
No, I'm not. But I don't think you're that way anymore. I think you've changed. You're not the man you used to be.
All right, maybe. I don't know. The only thing I do know is that I'm sympathetic to Stephanie.
Well, you might as well save it because she doesn't need it. She's going to do just fine.
Hey, come on. Come on, let's change the subject, huh? Let's talk about something else. I mean, it isn't right to let someone else cause us any kind of trouble. Okay, Stephanie gets to you, right? Okay, well, your own father has never been one of my great supporters. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Just because I'm a great guy and because I'm a good sport, I'm going to take you to supper at the inn tonight. And I'm going to grin at Stu until Stu grins back. Now, how about that?
You're going to have to grin an awfully long time.
Well, I expect to. I got an awful lot to grin about, haven't I?
I guess we both do.
You know something?
What?
It's fun to work with you. But it's more fun going out that front door with you after work.
Oh, I don't know about that. I think I like both. I think it is fun to spend as much time as possible with someone you really care about.
Oh, yeah? Will that cover me?
Are you looking for information or a compliment?
I'll take anything I can get.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, information, or yeah, compliment?
Yes.
Is that your public relations answer?
Are you interested in my private relations answer?
Would I like it any better? Or...
I don't know. I would like to spend as much time as possible with you, day or night.
I don't understand. You're interested in buying the inn?
Yeah. Well, you don't mind if I join you, do you? Yeah, I just overheard you saying that you couldn't think of selling the inn, but I thought I'd make a bid anyway. Well, I'm running out of space and facilities at the Boilermaker. I thought this would be a good time to expand.
Well, I don't think Joe and I are even ready to consider selling.
Well, maybe you should. I think I can offer you a good price. Well, besides, Stu, you've been thinking about retirement anyway, haven't you?
Retiring? You never said anything to me about retiring.
Well, you know how it is, Joe. It was snowing that day, and Beau and I were talking, and then I almost slipped and broke my neck in the parking lot.
And then Stu got to thinking about how happy my dad is out there in New Mexico, and...
Yeah, well, there was that, too. You know, Barney and I started almost the same time, and makes you realize you're not getting any younger, you know?
You really have been thinking about this? Well, I'm surprised you've never said anything.
Well, Joe, honey, I haven't really thought about it. I just kind of felt about it. You know, like the day the oil line for the furnace broke, it makes you feel you'd like to wake up in the morning to a nice, warm, sunny day.
But you haven't actually, well, done anything, have you?
No. I just kind of daydreaming, Joe. You know, the way you've been daydreaming.
You may not have made any plans, Stu, but I think you have that same gleam in your eye my dad did.
Huh?
Next thing you know, we'll be pulling out the travel folders.
What?
Well, the ones with the palm trees on.
Oh.
Well, anyway, I was, after listening to Stu, I thought he'd sort of want to put the inn up on the market, and I'd like to get in an early bid, if I could.
Well, it seems to me if you are thinking about retiring, you want the place to go to Tom.
Oh, well, yeah, if I were to retire, Joe, but... and I spoke to Tom over the Christmas holidays, and he's doing fine in law school, and I'm sure he wouldn't want to give up a career in law to put in the hours we have to put in. Joe, no, I'm afraid that that's one dream I'll have to put aside. Yeah, but you know our agreement, honey. If I ever should consider selling out, you get first crack at it.
This place would be a pretty rough go for a lady alone, don't you think?
Oh, listen, it's a rough go even with a guy to help her.
Right. And with Stu gone, you'd be pretty much tied down to this place, you know.
Well, then I guess that's just the way it'd have to be. I've been tied to Henderson for quite a while now. My roots go just about as far as roots can go. I've never really wanted to be any place except Henderson.
I know what you mean, Joe. But sometimes we've got to strike out on our own. See what the rest of the world has to offer us. This could be your time, couldn't it, Joe?
Hi there.
Hi. Oh, Rusty, the flowers are beautiful.
Nurse gave me the vase. How you doing, darling? Headache gone?
I feel much better. Especially now that you're here. Rusty, have you heard anything about Tony?
Well, they issued a communique to the newspapers and the media, some group calling themselves Il Bargello. They claimed responsibility, but they haven't asked for any ransom yet. But, darling, that's not what I have in my mind. There's something more important, more pressing.
What? What is it?
Getting you back home right now, as quickly as possible.
I thought we were going to wait until we heard about Tony.
I'll be staying, Liza. I've made arrangements for you to fly home tonight.
Tonight? Without you?
The first portion of Search for Tomorrow was brought to you by Gleam, toothpaste for the adult mouth. Protects your breath while it fluorides your teeth. Our story will continue in just a moment. And now the second portion of Search for Tomorrow.
I'm not going to leave without you.
Honey, you've got to.
No, listen to me. If there's any chance at all of getting Tony back, we have to press for it. Renata's future and the future of that child depend on Tony recognizing, acknowledging that that's his child. Now, we have to secure a marriage by proxy.
Honey, I understand all that, and that's what's going to happen once we find Tony. But right now, getting you out of here is far more important.
No, Rusty.
Liza, don't you remember when they came to get Tony?
Yes, I remember.
You saw one of the terrorists, didn't you?
The butler tore off his mask just before they killed him. His eyes, I'll never forget his eyes. I've never seen such cruelty. I knew he was going to kill me.
You'll remember that face, won't you?
I can't forget it.
And he'll remember yours. When those people realize that you survived the attack, they could reach out for you.
No.
Liza, you could identify them at a trial. They've killed God knows how many people, but you witnessed them kill Tony's butler. Now, I want you home, back in Henderson, where you can be safe.
I don't want to go. If you're going to stay here, I want to stay with you. Rusty, I want to help.
Help? Liza, you went out on your own to help Renata, and you're here in a hospital. Now, this is a special situation. Goodwill and wanting to help won't be any help at all. Now, I don't know how heavy this whole thing with Tony is going to be. But I do know that I can't help the police, manage Turner's security, and worry about you all at the same time. Now, darling, you know how much I love you. That I couldn't do anything if I thought you were in the slightest bit of danger.
But I...
You know how lost I was when Nick D'Antoni took you. I don't want to go through that pain again, Liza, so don't you argue with me. Just do what I ask.
I am your wife. No matter what happens, I belong with you. Please, don't send me away.
I'm not sending you away. I'm sending you home.
Because you think it's too dangerous here. Isn't that right?
No, probably not. I expect if once we find them, all we do is hand over some money.
And just what do you suppose they're going to do when they find out Travis Turner Centel is in Rome and would do anything to find them?
Liza, I'm not going to start our marriage lying to you or dodging your questions. I don't know what's going to happen. But I'll use my head. If the local authorities can wrap this thing up quickly, then I'll be back in Henderson where I'd much rather be. But if they can't, then Bobby Stewart and the TI security staff are going to come to this city and we're going to go over it inch by inch and over the country and over the continent if necessary, because I'm going to see his eyes. I'm going to see Tony's face when I...
Rusty, you wouldn't...
Kill him? I don't know. when I think what he did.
I know, darling, I know. I know how you feel. I felt the same way when Renata told me. But vengeance isn't going to help Renata or her child.
I realize that. It's the single thing that keep me from tearing him apart. Believe me, if it weren't for Renata, I'd pay them to keep him. Liza, listen to me. There'll be a doctor and a nurse, and they'll take you to the airport, along with some TI security people. There'll be an airplane waiting for you. By morning, you'll be home. I'll be there just as soon as I can. Okay?
Oh, Rusty.
Bye, darling.
Oh, Rusty.
Try very hard with Daddy tonight,
Yeah,
aren't you?
I'm going to ask him to go in on a really dirty business deal with me and split the profits.
Joe, hello.
Hello, Janet. Here for dinner?
Yes, Joe. Table for two, please.
Well, that's a nice number.
Oh, Janet.
Hi, Daddy.
Hi, honey. Good to see you. Hi, Ted.
Hey, Stu, how are you? Good to see you.
Yeah. How's it going?
Oh, going fine, going fine. Especially in the public relations department.
Oh. Oh, excuse me. I want you to meet a young friend of mine, Beau. This is my daughter, Janet Collins, and Ted Adamson, Beau Mitchell.
Nice
Hello,
to meet you,
nice
Miss
to
Collins.
meet you.
Ted? Long time, huh?
What in the hell are you doing back in Henderson, Mitchell?
Well, hello there. I do believe it's cocktail hour. All I could find in the prince's pantry were caviar and truffles. You'll be glad to know I didn't mix them together.
Maybe in a minute. Just let me sit here and try to unwind.
Of course. You saw Liza to the airport?
No, she went with some of my people. She's probably been in the air over an hour now.
No trouble with Liza.
Actually, you were right, Allison. She didn't want to go, even after I explained it to her.
Well, I'm sure she'll feel better about it later. After all, it was for her own good. And now we can get down to business. And a very interesting business it is.
Interesting?
Sure. Oh, I don't mean to sound cold and uncaring. Tony is a very dear friend of mine. But I take notes of my own kidnapping. It's an indelible habit.
You know, I really think you would. Well, let's get started. I've put out feelers all over Europe. Of course, they could have taken themselves to some other part of the world.
You know where I'd really like to start?
No.
With you. Before you left to see Liza, I saw real hatred in your eyes. I've been wondering if you want to find Tony to save him or to take care of him your own way.
Let's just say I want him back. We have a score to settle. But I want him alive.
And you're not saying any more, are you?
No, I'm not. It has nothing to do with the kidnapping. They haven't asked for a ransom yet.
Oh, no. There won't be one.
No?
These people aren't interested in money.
Are you sure? I know that some of these kidnappings are political, but some of them want money, too.
Not this one. These people are interested in publicity. And I happen to be in a position to give them that on a worldwide basis. I did a satellite report on the kidnapping just after it happened. In it, I offered to tell their side of the story if they'd contact me.
Fair play for the devil.
Maybe. But I've gotten some interesting stories that way. Anyway, they took the bait.
What do you mean?
I mean, while you were putting Liza on the plane, I was in contact with the terrorists.
This is Dwight Weist inviting you to join us on Monday for Search for Tomorrow. And stay tuned for As the World Turns 1/2 hour from now on most of these same CBS stations. This program was recorded